In this video, we'll start the KutaSoftware Infinite Algebra 1 free worksheet, finding slope from 2 points. I'll go ahead and split this up into 2 separate videos, doing the first page in the first video and the second page in the second video. Our directions are to find the slope of the line through each pair of points. The formula for slope is slope equals the rise over run, which is the change in y over change in x. So that's going to be y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So you're subtracting the y coordinates and you're subtracting the x coordinates, and the change in y is all over the change in x. The main thing to remember is that when doing y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, x2 and y2 come from the same coordinate, and x1 and y1 come from the same coordinate. So it's helpful to start out by labeling. So for number 1, I'll say this is x1 and this is y1. So x1 comma y1. And I'll say the second coordinate is x2 comma y2. So when I plug those into the formula, y2 minus y1, my y2 is negative 15, minus my y1, which is negative 16, and that's all over my x2, which was with my y2, so negative 7, minus my x1 of 19. Negative 15 minus a negative 16 is the same as negative 15 plus 16, which is going to give me a positive 1. And negative 7 minus 19 is a negative 26. So the slope for number 1 is negative 1 over 26. And number 2, let's go ahead and set up our x1, y1, x2, y2. So 1 comma negative 19 is x1 comma y1, and negative 2 comma negative 7 is going to be x2 comma y2. Starting with our y2, we're going to do negative 7 minus our other y coordinate, which is negative 19, and that's all over x2, negative 2 minus x1, which is 1. Negative 7 minus a negative 19 is the same as negative 7 plus 19, which will be a positive 12. And that's going to be over negative 2 minus 1, which is a negative 3. That can simplify down into 12 divided by negative 3, which is negative 4. So for number 2, the slope using those two coordinates is negative 4. And number 3, same thing. We're going to have x1, y1, x2, and y2. Our y2 is negative 4, so we're going to have negative 4 minus 7 all over x2, negative 6, minus x1, negative 4. Negative 4 minus 7 is negative 11, and that's all over negative 6 minus a negative 4 is negative 6 plus 4, which is negative 2. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, and this can't be simplified down anymore, so our answer to number 3 is 11 halves. And number 4, 20 will be x1, 8 will be y1, 9 will be x2, and 16 will be y2. y2 minus y1, 16 minus 8, over x2, 9, minus x1, 20. So you can see my 9 and 16 are my x2 and y2, and my 20 and 8, my x1 and y1, are being subtracted from those. So the coordinates will line up vertically in the formula. 16 minus 8 equals 8. 9 minus 20 will equal a negative 11. So my answer to number 4 for the slope is negative 8/11, since 8 over negative 11 cannot be simplified down anymore. In number 5, we'll do 8 minus a negative 13, y2 minus y1, over x2 17 minus x1 of 17. It doesn't matter what 8 minus negative 13 is, because 17 minus 17 is 0, and any number over 0 is undefined. So our slope in number 5 is undefined. So if we were to graph this, we would get a vertical line. Number 6, x1 and y1, x2 and y2. y2 minus y1 is 3 minus 3, x2 minus x1 is 20 minus 19. 3 minus 3 is 0, and we can stop there because 0 divided by any number is 0. So the slope for number 6 is 0, and that would be a horizontal line when graphed. In number 7, let's start with x2 and y2. So x2 is 3, y2 is 0, x1 is negative 11, and y1 is negative 15. So y2 is 0 minus a negative 15, which is y1, all over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is negative 11. 0 minus negative 15 is a positive 15. 3 minus negative 11 is a positive 14. So the answer for number 7 is 15/14. Now let's say if we were to do it the other way, where we did x1, y1, and x2, y2, we're going to get the same thing. y2 minus y1 is negative 15 minus 0. x2 minus x1 is negative 11 minus 3. That's going to give us negative 15 over negative 11 minus 3, a negative 14. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, so you can see we will get 15/14. It doesn't matter which coordinates have the subscript of 1 or have a subscript of 2. As long as you are subtracting in the correct order, it doesn't matter which point or which coordinate you start with first. So C, 0 and 3 line up on the left here, and 0 and 3 line up on the right here. Same with negative 11 and negative 15. Let's move on to number 8. This will be the last problem that I'll do in this video, and we'll finish out the worksheet in the next one. Before we do the answer to this, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. y2 minus y1 is going to be 10 minus negative 2. x2 minus x1 is going to be negative 11 minus 19. 10 minus a negative 2 is 10 plus 2, which is a positive 12. Negative 11 minus 19 is going further into the negatives, so that's going to be a negative 30. We can simplify this if we divide both the numerator and denominator by 6, will be 2 over negative 5. So the answer for number 8 is negative 2/5. If you have any questions or remarks, comment below. In this video, we're going to complete the Finding Slope from 2 Points worksheet on KutaSoftware, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Our directions are to find the slope of the line through each pair of points. We're using the following formula. Slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The important thing to remember is the order in which you subtract the coordinates. So this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. We're going to take y2 and subtract y1, and then we're going to take x2 and subtract x1. So for number 9, we're taking 15 and we're subtracting a negative 10, and that's all over a negative 15, and we're subtracting 6 from that. Positive 25, and that's all over negative 15 minus 6, which is a negative 21. This cannot be simplified anymore, so the answer for number 9 is negative 25 21sts. And number 10, x1 and y1 are 12 and negative 18. x2 and y2 are negative 15 and negative 18. So for y2 minus y1, we're doing negative 18 minus a negative 18. And for x2 minus x1, we're doing negative 15 minus 12. Negative 18 minus a negative 18 is negative 18 plus 18, which is 0, and we can stop there because 0 over any number is 0. So the answer for number 10 is 0 for the slope. Number 11, I'm going to have 8 minus a negative 20 as my y2 minus y1, and 5 minus 3 as my x2 minus x1. 8 minus a negative 20 is 8 plus 20, so that's positive 28, and that's all over 5 minus 3, which is 2. 28 divided by 2 simplifies down to 14. So the answer to number 11 is a positive 14. In number 12, we have 9 minus 8 for y2 minus y1, and negative 17 minus 15 for x2 minus x1. 9 minus 8 is 1. Negative 17 minus 15 is a negative 32. So for number 12, we have a slope of negative 1 over 32. Number 13, I'll switch it up and do x2 and y2 first, and then x1 and y1. y2 minus y1 is 12 minus 1. x2 minus x1 is negative 19 minus a negative 9. 12 minus 1 is going to give us a positive 11, and that's all over negative 19 minus negative 9 is negative 19 plus 9, which is a negative 10. The answer to number 13 will be negative 11 tenths. Number 14, x1 is 12, y1 can be 2, x2 is negative 7, and y2 is positive 5. y2 minus y1, 5 minus 2, x2 minus x1, negative 7 minus 12. 5 minus 2 is a positive 3, negative 7 minus 12 is a negative 19. So the answer in number 14 is negative 3/19. Number 15, x1, y1 will be 6, negative 12. x2, y2 will be 15, negative 3. Negative 3 minus negative 12 all over 15 minus 6. Negative 3 minus a negative 12 is negative 3 plus 12, which is a positive 9, all over 15 minus 6, which is a positive 9. 9 over 9 is a positive 1, since 9 divided by 9 is equal to 1. The slope in number 15 is 1. On to the last problem in this worksheet, number 16. Negative 17 is going to be my y2 minus 3, which is my y1, and since I started with negative 17, I'm going to start with 19 as my x2 minus 9 as my x1. Negative 17 minus 3 is going to give me a negative 20. 19 minus 9 is going to give me a positive 10. Negative 20 divided by 10 is equal to a negative 2, since negative 20 divided by 10 equals negative 2. So for number 16, the answer is negative 2. And as always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also, if you have any comments, go ahead and write them below.